Hello, I'm Evocable Object 4, and today we're continuing Wounded by Words. Let's do Alicia's, run. In English, if you please. I think I'll always remember that day. Even if I had lived through more perilous situations, this one held a special place in my heart. I remember everything so vividly because it was a human experience, and an unconventional one at that. Just like war, actually. Maybe it left a mark on me precisely because it reminded me of the war, of the pain, of the hopelessness, and also because it made me feel useful again. I thought I could help people, that I could be a functional human being again. Now that may have been foolish of me. One can never return from hell. After all, never. Even so, I remember that day as a moment of hope. I tried to cling to that, convincing myself it was my last chance. Was it all in vain? I I had an appointment with the doctor after noon that day. I knew it would be unpleasant. He told me the same thing as usual, that I had to make an effort for my treatment to work. I couldn't care less. I didn't believe in its effectiveness. I truly thought I was a lost cause. At that time, his words were painful, and I couldn't escape them. I took a stroll in order to occupy my mind, and somehow, I ended up at the shopping center. Yeah, me personally, I don't think I would want to be at a shopping center. I don't think I would want to accidentally walk in there. There were people everywhere, talking, walking, kissing, laughing. See, that's why I wouldn't want to be in there, because there's people. I'm just kidding. People are nice sometimes. The crowd was lively, too lively for me. I had barely taken a few steps, I already felt dizzy. I felt tired, so tired, hearing the voices of these people, living their daily lives happily, without a doubt, was breaking my heart even further. I didn't belong there, among the normal, among the humans. I didn't fit in this picture of joyful couples and families. I couldn't stop hearing the voices, laughing louder and louder. I couldn't understand a thing, but I was already fighting to escape those words. I was there, walking slowly, trying to ignore my terrible headache, when a deafening sound broke through my thoughts. I heard an explosion, and the walls began to shake as the windows blew up into tiny pieces. There were screams, people were panicking, running in every direction, running towards the exit. I could clearly see the fear in their eyes, their failure to grasp what was going on. The ceiling was crumbling, increasing the panic. At that moment, they were all wild animals, and soon enough they became aggressive. I was tired, so very tired. My head ached so badly that I was too slow to react. I was knocked over, trampled by the hysterical crowd, my field of vision blurred. The last thing I heard before getting knocked by a collapsing rock was yet another explosion. Then everything went black. After I snapped out of it, all I could see was pitch black. There was a strong smell. Dust particles. Ah, golly. I would be sneezing so much and whatnot. I could feel a presence next to me. I wasn't alone. Ah, you're finally awake. As I opened my eyes, I saw a distant silhouette in the darkness. Given the tone of the voice, this person seemed to be an old lady. I was afraid your injury would be more serious. Thank goodness you're okay. Where are we? I wish I could tell you, young lady. I think we've fallen from the ground floor. We must be on the lower ground floor. How did we manage to fall exactly? Well, it's a long story. You were hit by a stone. Do you remember? Yes, I do. What happened after? I saw you pass out. I couldn't leave you there in that pitiful state. Not when there were people walking all over your unconscious body. I tried to slap you awake. You did open your eyes a bit, but I could clearly see that you were only half conscious. So I pulled you back up and leaned you against my shoulder to help you walk. Since we were as slow as snails, it was near impossible to get away when the ground collapsed beneath us. Do you feel a bit better now? That rock must have stunned you. Wait, you pulled me back up to save me from staring death in the face? I don't know what to say. I mean, you didn't have to. You could have escaped on your own. You don't owe me anything. Why did you bother saving me when you were in danger too? That, young lady, is my duty. I want to help as many people as I can. And please, don't thank me. I don't do that for a pat on the back. Just get better, that's all I ask. If that's all you ask for, I can't decline. Everything seems okay. I just feel a bit numb. That's a relief. Well, we're lucky that none of us got any major injuries during that fall. Now, it'd be better if we could get out of here. I don't know about you, but I don't particularly like dark rooms. And this place isn't welcoming either. Since it's pitch black, we have to be cautious and not do anything reckless. Let's see. After feeling around in the darkness carefully, I came to a conclusion. Madam, I think I've figured out the situation. We're actually between two floors. That's why it's so dark. The bad news is, I don't know how long this platform will hold. I think it's safe to assume it's not the most stable piece of ground. Just as I finished talking, a grinding noise confirmed my theory. I felt the platform shake a bit. It might fall down at any minute. It smells like trouble. What do we do now? Any ideas? I thought deeply while looking around. There was nothing to the right or left, only a fragile pile of intertwined junk, and pieces of what previously used to be the ground. It appeared that they were the only things keeping the platform from falling. It was impossible to climb onto a broken pillar because of the smooth marble, and there was no sign of light above it anyway. It would be too dangerous to jump blindly. I decided to look down as well, just to be sure, and knelt. Now that I was used to the darkness, I could see light right under the platform, the lower ground floor in all likelihood. I pointed out to the old lady. I think the lower ground floor is just here. We could jump and try to find the exit from there. We're not that high up. I don't think we'd get hurt. What if the platform falls on us? We'll just have to be quick. If you think it's safer than staying here, I'll do as you say. Feeling that the unsteady platform was slowly inclining and creaking more and more, I sat down and went first, hoping that the landing wouldn't be too violent. Surprisingly, a bunch of rubble softened my fall, and I landed perfectly. There was a corridor, and some people looking at me with surprise. A mother and her child. As encouraging as seeing other faces was, I had to focus on my companion first. Madam, you can go ahead. It's safe. And there are other people down here. Roger, here I come. Catch me. The old woman jumped as well. Mission accomplished. Maybe we can leave now. A woman in her 30s approached us with her child, who was hiding behind her, and told us with a calm voice, "I'm afraid I'll have to let you down, because there's no way out of here. We're trapped as well." "Are you sure?" As I was about to ask the stranger for more information, I heard a voice calling for help nearby. Everyone looked in the same direction. There was a door leading to the bathroom at the end of the hallway. Without a second thought, I rushed in, followed by the woman I just met. Go to the side. Oh golly. Into the bathroom. And there. When we entered the bathroom, we immediately noticed a young man lying on the floor. He looked like a teenager and seemed embarrassed. I understood why. There was a wheelchair next to him. Stuck under a rock. He must have been crawling in order to retrieve it. How troublesome. Don't worry, we'll put it back in place. Thanks. It's not working as well as before, but it's better than nothing. Not having anything else to do in the damaged bathroom, we decided to go back to the hallway. Nice to meet you all. The more the merrier, I say. We should be happy about the fact that we're still alive right now. Maybe now's a good time for introductions? Well, at that exact moment, there was a strange sound. The sound of scratching and coughing. We all turned around turned back to see what it was, and suddenly a human hand emerged from a pile of debris. We all cringed simultaneously. My heart beat harder. Could it be? The hand cleared out the stones as it made its way out. A man got out of the ruins and dusted himself off. We were made speechless by his appearance. I would be pretty surprised too if a random man just came out of the debris. Phew, close call. Hello there. May I know where this is? And may we know what you're doing here? I was unconscious under this pile of junk. I just woke up after hearing your voices. I couldn't tell where I was. I saw a light and here I am. I guess now is a good time for introductions. Unless there's another one hidden elsewhere. I doubt it. I'm Adeline, retired, 73 years old and still kicking. I was about to go shopping when this thing occurred. Everyone was screaming and jostling around, and I saw this young lady on the floor getting walked over by those beasts, and I gave her a hand. As we were slowly escaping, the ground shifted right under our feet, and here we are. Agatha, retired Army officer, 28. I was passing through the shopping center for a little walk, and you already know the rest. Gabriel, 19, student. I was idling around and went to one of the only wheelchair-accessible bathrooms. I heard a commotion outside, but I had to take my time getting back out. Then a part of the wall collapsed near me as I was getting out, and the impact ejected me out of my wheelchair. I passed out, and you helped me get back on track just after I woke up. I'm Alicia, 32, and I have too many jobs right now to count. Let's say cashier and cleaner for now. My son Hasten right here slipped away from me while I was trying to get out of the shopping center, and I had to go looking for him right in the middle of the commotion. I found him here. I guess it was the quietest place at the moment, hence why he chose it to take shelter. He hates crowds and noise. Anyway, as soon as I reached him, the walls right here collapsed, and the way out was closed off. We took some time to calm down, and that's when you came in. As for me, I'm Dave, 47 years old. I'm the director of a departmental team of the local public service corporation. We work for the common good. Our office is located on this floor and was actually sleeping in mine when the alarm rang out. It's a bit embarrassing, but I assure you it's not because I was partying the night before or anything like that. I'm just currently really busy with new files coming out of nowhere. I haven't slept much lately and couldn't help but fall asleep on my desk. I got trapped in the office since nobody came to see me. They must have thought I already got out. To be honest, I didn't fully understand what was going on. When the wall collapsed on me, I was knocked out, but fortunately, it also allowed me to join up with you. I take it that none of our cell phones work? The teenager, the woman, and the salaryman all sighed in unison. No signal. We're trapped underground after all, and if the building really has fallen down on itself, it's no surprise. Does anyone know what actually happened? Was it an earthquake? Strange earthquake then. I didn't feel the ground move underneath my wheels at all. I'd say it was a terrorist attack. A terrorist attack? Yes, I'm pretty sure of it. A small group recently threatened this exact shopping center, saying they wanted to lash out as a symbol of capitalism in our country. Considering that this center is a big economic landmark for the city, it wouldn't be surprising. You seem knowledgeable about these things. Well, I was in the army after all, and I had to handle many difficult situations during my missions, and I was frequently in contact with other units. So what is your opinion of our situation right now? Do you think we have a chance of escaping? Sorry. Gotta get some water. Well, I examined the place a bit earlier, so here are my thoughts. Firstly, it's a miracle that all of us have reached a place as large as this one. Usually people trapped underground by something like an earthquake are stuck in a much narrower tunnel, so they can't even move and stand up. Plus, they usually get little light and no means of taking care of themselves. Here we have fully functional toilets, and some of the lights are still working. Not sure that they'll last long, though. My big question is resources. The taps aren't working. Does anyone have something to eat or drink? I do. I have a full bottle of water in my purse, and I haven't opened it yet. I can definitely share it. That's a new miracle. I have one request. Go ahead. I also have a smaller bottle of juice. I'll share the water, but I'll keep the other one for my son, if you don't mind. He doesn't like water. How can someone not like water? It's tasteless. Shh, everyone has their quirks. Let him do as he wants. No problem. I understand that the kid needs more attention than us. Fair. Thank you. He really needs it, and I don't want him to be bad-tempered. It's not a good time for that. So, it's not much, but we have one of the essentials. We can't live more than 2 or 3 days without water, whereas on average, humans can survive around a month without eating, if he doesn't tax his reserves. So we have less than 2 or 3 days left after finishing the bottle before dying of dehydration. Yay! We're in a magical situation. I have another concern. If the taps aren't working, there must be a hole in the water mains inlet, which means a leak. In this situation with a terrorist bomb, it could be due to damaging of an electric circuit that leads to another explosion. What annoys me is that we don't know exactly where the leak is. We could get flooded at any moment. And if an electric cable has been damaged, that would electrocute us as well. By staying, we might be signing our own death warrant. But we have no way of knowing that, so I have no clue about our survival chances. The future looks quite grim for us. But I don't want to die here! Dave looked pale all of a sudden. He looked terrified and was shaking like a leaf. He rushed to the sealed exit and pounded on the debris. I knew he was going to scream. It's useless, you know. You'll only exhaust yourself. The rescue team won't hear you from above since we're underground. I'm sure they'll come with sensors anyways, so they'll know where we are. For now, let's save our energy, okay? We'll scream only when we hear their voices calling out to us. Do you think we can escape on our own? Well, I don't know if that's humanly possible to clear out the collapse zone, and I can definitely say we can't climb out either. So no, let's say we can't do much. Let's wait for the rescue team. Who knows, they might already be on their way. I just think it'll be safer to set up as far as possible from the ruins. We don't want them falling on our heads. Anyway, let's cooperate. If we want to get out of here alive, our best chance is to help one another and stick together. I may not be in the army anymore, but I promise I'll put your protection as my top priority. As I finished talking, I saw all of them pull a face. I knew they were a bit demotivated, but the truth is always better than a pretty lie. Even so, I had to reassure them a little. I'm sure the rescue team will be here soon. We only had to wait. The most important thing right now is to maintain harmony inside our group. We can't let fear or sadness get the better of us. Let's try to pass the time as pleasantly as we can. Everyone nodded silently. I thought that they were agreeing, but didn't necessarily know how to strike up a conversation. I had to set an example. Thank Alicia. Yes, I've basically talked to everyone else. Except for Alicia and Hanson. Thanks again for sharing your water, Alicia. You're saving us. Don't mention it. I'm sure anyone would have done the same in this situation. You'd be surprised. Anyway, let's talk about something less gloomy, shall we? Like, I don't know, what are your hobbies? I don't really have hobbies. How's that possible? What do you do to pass the time then? I don't have free time anymore, so I don't relax either. I usually collapse on the sofa when I come home and watch TV for an hour before falling asleep. That's all. Rough lifestyle, huh? But you can't count watching TV. But you can count watching TV as hobby, right? I don't know. My mind is so blank after work, and watching a screen helps me rest a bit. I try to watch documentaries as often as I can. I don't really like reality TV that much. I admit, I'm ashamed of myself. I used to love reading, and now I don't have the mental strength to touch a book anymore. I'm sorry. I can't really chat about pleasant stuff to lift everyone's spirits. Yeah, that's fine. You know, if things aren't completely happy, then, yeah. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. You're certainly not the only one who can't afford the luxury of time. Though I'm not a good example given how old I am. But you're young in your head, right? Absolutely. You and I are gonna get along well. If I can do anything to lift your spirits, just tell me, Alicia. Thanks, you're too kind. But if you're so busy with work, who's taking care of your son? You do maintain your role as a mother, don't you? Dots. Everyone looked at each other jaded. It was clear as crystal that Dave was the kind of person who tended to be rather tactless. There was a long pause in the conversation. Nobody wanted to talk anymore, and even Dave felt that there was something awkward in the air and avoided going on. The thick silence went on for a while, nobody knowing how to start the conversation again. After what felt like an eternity, a stomach growled. It was Hasten's. Come to think of it, I'm starting to get a bit hungry too. Now could be a good time to have a meal. A meal of air? Delicious, but not very nourishing. I have 6 biscuits on me. Let's share them along with the water. I'd advise you cut them in half so that we can have another meal later. We don't have much to eat, so let's impose rationing. And so went our humble meal. One of us got half a biscuit and a portion of water. Not enough to soothe my appetite, sadly. Well, since the rescue team still isn't here, I guess we'll be sleeping in this charming place. Too bad we don't have some kind of blanket. Bah, sleeping on the floor isn't suited for my age. If only I had known, I would have taken my coat. Would someone be kind enough to help me when the moment comes? I don't want to sleep in my wheelchair. It's not comfy enough for that. I mean, Adeline could technically use her apron. Gabriel could use his shirt, and Agatha could use her uniform to form some kind of comfiness. I mean, actually, it would only amount to a pillow. It really would just only amount to that. No problem. Sleeping on the floor? Here? It's disgraceful. I don't want to. You can sleep standing up. None of us like the idea either, you know. Dave is such a crybaby. If you want, I can sing you a lullaby. No thanks. It wasn't time to sleep yet, so we had some free time to spend. We were joking about the fact that the rescue team would probably wake us up in the middle of the night. Deep down, I'm sure everyone wished that that would be the case. Soon enough, conversations died down. I couldn't stay on my own, doing nothing. I had to speak to someone to help me forget. Talk to Alicia and Hasten, which I haven't read this conversation before. I decided to join Alicia and Hasten, who were sitting in a corner. I wanted to know more about them. The child was quietly playing with his mother's hair while lying on her lap. The scene was both weird and cute. As he was gazing at the hair, I noticed something on his arm, hidden by his t-shirt. It was some sort of bracelet. What's that? A bracelet? Alicia looked down in embarrassment. Yes, actually my phone number and address are on it. A safety measure for when he runs away. He tends to do it a lot. Actually, that's not a bad idea for doing that if you have a really young kid, you know. Then if they do get lost or whatever, someone can call a phone number and whatnot. So yeah, that actually isn't a bad idea. What do you mean? He sometimes runs off without saying anything? Yes, Hasten is actually very sensitive. Whenever there is noise, too many people, or overly strong stimuli, he gets nervous. And when he can't handle it anymore, he runs away. He does it a lot with his school teacher. She can't stand treating him differently from the others, so she forces him to do stuff against his will. Well, she's not a very good teacher then. Different students kinda learn differently. I tried to explain to her, but she wouldn't listen to me. She told me I was a bad mother for not teaching my child how to properly behave, but she doesn't understand how Hasten is. He's not disobeying because he wants to annoy her. He does so because she's asking too much of him. Last time there was a school trip, they went off to an expedition in the middle of the city. They took the bus, and the other children were laughing loudly. There was a lot of traffic. I knew it would happen. I tried to make her promise she would try to be more careful with him, but it was all in vain. We searched for him for hours. Man, sucks. So I gave him this bracelet to be sure that if someone picked him up, they would know how to contact me. Poor Hasten. Yet, he doesn't seem that difficult to live with. He's not when you know how he works, but most people won't spend the effort to try to understand it. At least you seem to be there for him. I wish I could be. I'm working too much for that. I have many part-time jobs to try to make Golly! To try to make ends meet. I barely see him. You know, it's unfair. Many unemployed persons have too much time on their hands, but no money to do anything, so they pace up and down like caged lions. But on the other hand, rich people are way too busy to spend their money too often either. If only we could split up the work in two, it'd make much happier people. The jobless would have more work and the office workers could spend more time with their family. I guess I shouldn't dream, right? Don't say that. You may not have noticed it yet, but I'm of the pessimistic kind. And that's fine. I've been through so many things in my life, I don't believe in anything anymore. The only thing I'm sure is that nothing I'll do will ever matter. Ah, golly! I did not have this problem with Tales of Link, but then again, I would get pretty long breaks between talking. I'm sure. The only thing I'm sure of is that nothing I'll do will ever matter. Underprivileged people don't have the luxury of choosing the life that they want. I didn't know what to say, and simply put a comforting hand on her shoulder. After this conversation, we decided it was time to rest. Ah, darn it! I always forget that it immediately goes to this. After a while, everyone went their own separate ways to find the least uncomfortable corners of the room and lay down on the ground. I glanced at them regularly and saw many people turning around every which way in hopes of finding some sleep. I wasn't very optimistic. I knew that as soon as I closed my eyes, the screams would return, the sparks. I didn't want to see them again. I knew what would await. Another sleepless night. Another in a long series. At least I wouldn't stand out of the crowd tomorrow morning. Nobody would know. Almost despite myself, I felt weariness feeling me from the inside. I blinked, slower and slower. Golly. Ugh. On the other side, there was darkness and fire. I saw the sand again, those dunes. I felt the blazing sun, the heavy air, the smell of petrification. My mind was uncontrollably attracted to this place. I tried to resist, but it was useless. I had been cursed with memory. I was in the middle of the desert, lost, powerless, as the scene passed before my eyes once again. No! I awoke from my dream with a start. It was the middle of the night, yet the scenery hadn't changed one bit. It was almost reassuring. I am going to save right here. Everyone seemed to be sleeping. I envied their peaceful dreams. I wished I could be one of them. Okay. Let us save. I'll save over the first lot. Yeah. Double check. So first lot. First lot is what I use. Okay. The lovely quit button. We got our 4 out of 6 peoples. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Probably tomorrow. Bye.